Greetings, everyone, and welcome. It is March the 5th, afternoon here in the United States on the East Coast, late evening there in Ukraine. President Zelenskyy has already made his evening address, and it's powerful, and I will be sharing that with you in just a few moments to bring clarity to what is happening. I know that you've been watching your own news, mainstream news, social media, YouTube, whatever, and you are sick of hearing about the presidential address last night. You probably watched it or you've seen clips. And I can just remind you that it was supposed to be this big deal. But to be honest, in regard to Ukraine, it turned out to be pretty much a nothing burger. Once again, Donald Trump is scared to death to talk about Vladimir Putin. Let's just call it for what it is. And that is why the title of the video today is Trump and Putin Must Be Stopped. This is so obvious that a blind man could see it. And over the next few minutes, I'm going to lay out a thesis for you validating why the thumbnail says Trump and Putin must be stopped. There is no question there are serious events happening behind the scenes, utilizing places like Taiwan, Ukraine, South Korea, the Middle East to bring about some type of economical relationship between Trump and Putin. It's not speculation, guys. It's just so easy to see. And today, I'm going to lay it out for you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing and liking this. I am a conservative. That's just the way it is. But I do not stand for what is happening in my country, and I am ashamed of how my country is leading the free world. That's what it is. Now, of course, he had this big tweet. Tomorrow night will be big. I will tell it like it is. We've all seen it, and you've heard enough about that. But there's so much in what he did not say. So much in what he did not say. The rare earth minerals deal wasn't signed. He also spoke misinformation or a lie about receiving a letter from President Zelenskyy in the morning. I'll validate that for you in just a moment. And basically, folks, no words about the invader, the terrorist, the true dictator, Vladimir Putin. So it was big. You told it like it is. You told exactly your viewpoint of how you're trying to lead the free world. You know, we're going to take Greenland, whether you like it or not, in the Panama Canal. I know you're sick of it. I'm going to get off of it, and let's keep going. What morning letter? This is coming from Markorova. She is the ambassador to Ukraine. I personally know her. I have met her there in the Ukrainian embassy on several occasions and at the Capitol building with several meetings I had there a year ago. There was no morning letter. This is what she is saying, and this is bold. She is saying there was no morning letter sent to Trump. All that Trump referred to was the tweet that President Zelenskyy had sent out on X. He then utilized that for his benefit. You see, ladies and gentlemen, there was nothing big to talk about in regard to Ukraine. Zelenskyy played it perfectly. Tomorrow, there will be meetings in the EU. We're talking about future meetings between Ukraine. We'll talk about that in a moment, in the United States. And European leaders, Starmer, Macron, France. But the reality is that wasn't true. It was just a tweet that was coming in on X, and it was utilized to make President Trump look pretty good. The bottom line is now, what do we have? And this is a problem. This is a big problem. And this is why Putin and Trump must be stopped. Arms and intelligence. CIA Director John Ratcliffe confirmed that the Trump administration halted all intelligence sharing and arms shipments to Ukraine. He has great doubt about Zelensky's commitment to the peace process. This is subject to change when we come to the negotiation and peace table. And I'm going to talk more about that in a minute and make it very clear so that we can understand all of this is a bunch of smoke and mirrors. Here's the bottom line. Ukraine has now lost American intelligence that allows them and assists them in reaching long-range targets there when they're striking these oil refineries that are 1,000 kilometers, these oil storage, these military bases 1,000 kilometers inside Russia. A lot of that intelligence is coming from U.S. satellites, coming through Europe, coming to Ukraine. Additionally, it's more than just that. Folks, now we're going to run out of Patriot missiles. The air shield that we do have in Ukraine will go away. The planes were literally turned around in the air and sent back to the United States with shipments. That is coming out right now. All the stuff flowing through Poland was stopped, halted. And additionally, folks, this even comes down to like HIMARS targeting. You know, the United States gave Ukraine HIMARS, and they've been doing amazing things. I've been right there when our soldiers are firing the HIMARS, and it's unbelievable, powerful, great systems from the United States. Ukraine now loses that precision ability with this intelligence sharing gone to strike specific targets with very good accuracy. You see, this is why Ukraine has been able to strike so good oil refineries, military bases, military installations, not hitting civilian targets, not hitting hospitals, not hitting schools, because they've been getting the intelligence from America and through Europe, and now that is gone, plus the arms supply. And folks, this is very suspicious. In fact, my daughter would say, Dad, this is sus. That's the new way they say suspicious. This is sus. I am showing you right now current statistics coming out of Ukraine, and I know it's in Ukrainian right there, but I translate it for you. Pokrovsk assaults, the storming of the Russians against Pokrovsk, which is the key city that Ukraine needs to hold. This is showing from May of 2024 on the left up to the current, and you can see the trend line there has gone down. Russia has slowed significantly on their storming against Pokrovsk and Mironograd there in the southern front of Ukraine, the key logistical hub city for Ukraine to hold on to support the southern front and the eastern front with Konstantinivka and Kramatorsk and Slavyansk. All of that corner, so vital. And isn't it interesting that Ukraine had just began a counteroffensive? You can see here the blue circles, Pokrovsk counter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 they had made and began successfully retaking territory back around Pokrovsk with a counter assault. And now the weapons supply has stopped. Isn't it interesting timing? Additionally, you can see over on the right, the map there showing that we now have range reduction for the Ukrainians to be able to strike deep into Russia due to the loss of intelligence. Folks, I can tell you what it is. As my daughter would say, it's sus, Dad, it's sus. Now, let me give you some common sense. Common sense. This is why Trump and Putin and Trump must be stopped. Listen to my logical argument here, please. And right here is where I'm going to ask you to leave a comment. Leave a comment. I'm going to show 2 slides. I'm going to lay this argument out for you. My opinion, my thoughts. Please reply. Share this to somebody else, because I believe we're dropping some serious truth and understanding here. And give me your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree? Disagree? Do you see it similarly? Or no, you think I'm off here? For me, it's common sense. Here we go. CIA Director Ratcliffe said that if Zelenskyy agrees to the peace that Trump is offering, that basically, folks, is capitulation on Russia's terms, okay? If Zelenskyy agrees to what Trump will be offering, it will be capitulation to the Russian Istanbul plan. It is a complete loss for Ukraine. It's capitulation. So he says, then the U.S. will continue to help both militarily and with intelligence. Let me repeat that one more time. CIA Director Ratcliffe said that if Zelenskyy agrees to the peace that Trump is offering, which is capitulation to the Russian terms, then the U.S. will continue to help both militarily and with intelligence. But this is not just an attempt at manipulation. It literally begs the question, why would Ukraine need intelligence if the war ends and peace comes on Trump and Putin's terms? Think about that for a moment. Why would you need the intelligence if you come to the peace on Trump and Putin's terms, which would include security guarantees? Ratcliffe states it is Trump's leadership, King Trump, that must bring this peace, and Zelenskyy must agree to it. That is, in effect, give Trump a gift as peacemaker so other people that have lost their mind can continue to nominate him for a Nobel Peace Prize. Ladies and gentlemen, this is madness. It is common sense. Now, let me take it a step further. This approach seems primitive. They talk about how brilliant they are. This is primitive. Think about it this way. If I take away your good wheels on your vehicle or whatever, your good wheels, for Ukraine, that would be supplies, armament, and intelligence so that you couldn't temporarily participate in the race effectively, continue to fight the war. If I take away your goodwills, supply and intelligence so you couldn't temporarily participate in the race effectively because Ukraine will not quit, with the condition, if you participate in my plan, coming to the table with your enemy who bears no fault, nobody in the Trump administration has said it's Putin's fault. Nobody has said that it's Putin who has invaded. Nobody has said that it is Putin and that evil regime that is wiping Ukraine off the planet. So with the condition, if you participate in my plan, coming to the table with your enemy who bears no fault, then we'll give you your new wheels back. We'll return intelligence to you. We'll return munitions and Patriots and HIMARS and technology. But why is that important if there's not a race anymore? To prepare for the next race? You see, this is exactly what Ukraine means. This is exactly what Zelenskyy is stating when they talk about security guarantees. What is your thought on my logic there? Dmitry Kuleba, one of my favorites, the former foreign minister of Ukraine, stated it perfectly. I've been saying this on live streams with Johnny from ATP Geopolitics and Gertis and others and videos over the last couple of days. Putin is loving this, guys. Putin is watching with a smile. This is Kuleba, I'm quoting. Trump is ready for any escalation to force Ukraine to his peace deal, which is capitulation. Trump wants to quickly reach an agreement in order to show everyone his greatness. Fortunately, Zelenskyy understands all of this and fights for better conditions for Ukraine. Putin sits and watches this with a smile while doing his main task, which is to ensure that his friend Donald Trump sees the problem not in Putin, but sees the problem in Zelenskyy. What's your thought on that one? Kuleba nails it. This is why Trump and Putin must be stopped. They must be stopped. If not, we're heading to a new world order, a global order that you have never even imagined. It must be stopped. Period. Europe, stand up. Stand for what is right. Support Ukraine. Thank you for other nations that are standing with Ukraine. It is the epicenter of the madness that is happening in our globe, and it is spilling over into other regions, and it must be stopped. Now, remember, everybody, it's the Trump administration that says Zelensky's a dictator. Oh, they can come back a week later and say he's a president. No, their thought is he's a dictator. Zelenskyy tonight in his statement just a few minutes ago, I'm going to play it for you, just a clip of it, about a minute long as we close out this update. You tell me if this sounds like a dictator. He says, we are preparing a plan for the first steps to bring a fair and sustainable peace closer. He keeps working. We are working on it quickly. It will be ready soon. Europe has a common vision for ending the war. Europe, not America, has a common vision for ending the war and guaranteeing security. It must be at the table in the upcoming negotiations with Ukraine and the United States. Also today, he says Yermak and Trump's team discussed the place and date of negotiations with the Russian Federation. And guys, I won't even bore you with the humor, but Lukashenko put out a video today. I was going to translate it and play it for you for fun. He was offering Minsk, and he would be the mediator and the host so that Trump and Putin and Lukashenko could meet with Ukraine. How about that one for funny? All right, so now, is this a dictator? You tell me. You listen to what you heard last night. Greenland, we're going to get you one way or the other. Panama Canal. If you want to come to America, you can buy a $5 million golden card. Come to Easy Street, the easy way. That sounds like a dictator. Sorry for my conservative friends. That sounds like a dictator. Zelenskyy tonight, you tell me if you think this sounds like a dictator.
Greetings, dear Ukrainians. A few updates for today. Report from Commander Syrsky. Kursk front. Our positions and actions. Brigades have all necessities. I thank our brave soldiers. Army's strength is people's confidence, and our diplomacy's assurance. Domestic production is key. Working on boosting arms production, especially drones to protect troops. Busy with international work, spoke with Dutch, Portuguese, Slovenian PMs, also talked to German Chancellor, grateful for the support, preparing for EU summit in Brussels. Everyone sees how fast diplomatic events are unfolding. Today, our Ukrainian and US teams began working on the meeting. Andriy Yermak and Mike Wolz spoke. There's positive momentum. We expect initial results next week. We aim to revive progress on EU integration, specifically accession talks. We're counting on our partners' support. Thanks to all working for Ukraine, to all fighting for our country and people. Glory to Ukraine.
Now, does that sound like a dictator? To me, it doesn't. Hey, greetings, my dear Ukrainians. Siersky's given us this report. We're having some good success over there in Kursk. Today, I was speaking with these foreign leaders like Slovenia and German Chancellor. We're working with our partners in America. We're working toward meetings. Yermak was working with Waltz. We're fighting. We're ramping up our own production. We're looking to take care, and we're looking for the best for the future. Partnering together, working together for victory. Doesn't sound like a dictator to me. It sounds like a leader. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, more than ever, you need to stand with Ukraine, stand for President Zelenskyy, stand for the truth that is coming out and will continue to come out of Ukraine, because they get it. They get the Soviet evil madness of Vladimir Putin. And yes, I called it Soviet. They understand it, and they're trying to help the rest of the world understand it. And that is why right now Trump and Putin must be stopped with this bromance. It is pure evil, and it will lead the world to destruction. You can put that in the bank. Guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for supporting. The channel's growing like crazy now, and it's because of you. Share it on your social media, like, comment, and please leave me some comments on what you thought on some of my common sense I shared. You guys be blessed, and we'll be back at you very soon.